you're a bear, I'm Mike, and you're a bear, and we're cool with each other. It's so weird. We're cool with each other. When they told me this, I thought, oh, I'm going to be murdered by a bear because that sounds like basting yourself in barbecue barbecue sauce. Like, I'm right here, bear. I'm right here, and that tastes fantastic. Later that week, Patty and I were fly fishing with a guide, and I don't know if you've ever tried fly fishing, and it's much more difficult than it looks. A river runs through it. There were salmon jumping out of the water, literally jumping out of the water, which is exactly what I would do if I were a fish, because that seems like a great field trip. You're in this boring water all day, and then all of a sudden you're flying in the air, and you're like, whoa, I want to be here and grow legs and become a human, which is what happened over time. Sorry, homeschoolers. So these salmon are jumping out of the water, but I can't quite get one with the rod because there's this whole technique where you're waving your arms around like an orchestra conductor, and if you don't catch one, you feel like an idiot because they're jumping in front of you and you're conducting them, but you're not catching them, and thinking, I should have brought a net. I'm not catching anything, and the fishing guide feels bad for me, so he catches one and then places it places the rod in my hand and shouts, you got one! And that hurts my pride because I knew I hadn't. I'm with the guide, and Patty is about 75 yards behind us, and I hear her say, Mike. Her voice has a very distinct pitch. It's the voice of the sound of a person about to be mauled. I turn around and see an 8-foot brown bear walking toward her in the water. The whole thing was very surreal because the bear wasn't running towards her like a horror movie, the I will murder you. He was simply walking towards her in this laid-back bear fashion as if to say, I'm a bear, etc. I was proud of myself because I built up the courage to say, Guide, do something. The guide snapped into action. He ran at the bear and screamed at the top of his lungs, yeah! And the bear walked away calmly. He was like, all right, I'm a bear, etc. Now I was very relieved that my sister hadn't been mauled, but I was a little bit mad at the guide. I thought, you didn't tell me about the hee-yah plan. You just told me to say, I'm right here, bear. It's like he gave me the bad parachute. Like I jumped out of the plane and everyone's chute went off, and I had been given the multicolored gym class parachute. And I'm flapping this rainbow chute as I fall to my death thinking, this doesn't do anything except build team skills. Watching Patty almost get eaten by a bear changed something for me. In that moment, she was no longer the older, intimidating sibling whom I feared as a child, nor was she the distant rebel who shunned our family. She was bear food, and so was I. It turned out we had a lot in common.